Hello, today we're going to be talking about the power of the actor. Let me tell you something. I have seen this, I have experienced this, and that is that actors sometimes think they're powerless, but you are not. As an actor, you are someone who moves culture. You are cultural architects. The problem has been is that too many of us walk around timidly begging to be seen. And the reality is that the camera doesn't lie. It picks up your energy. It feels if you don't believe in your power, the camera is going to show it. So I want to start off with 15 negatives that happens when actors don't show up in their power. Because I want to see actors walking in the power. You know, Ivana Chubbuck has a fantastic acting book called The Power of the Actor. But it's just more than craft. The power of the actor is all parts of you, actor. It is all parts of you. So let's talk about what happens when actors walk timidly or scared or uncertain or just feeling like you're not enough. What happens is you dim your lights, and it shows up in your readings, your self-tapes. It shows up in your relationships with the industry. It shows up in your energy. Because here's what happens. When you don't walk in your power, you are repelling opportunities. People sense that insecurity even before one line is spoken. When you don't show up in your power, you're playing small. You're choosing safe roles instead of transformative ones. We don't want that. We want to be big, big, big. Not to walk around in your day-to-day relationships, but when you are walking as an actor, you need to be big. You need to be bigger than life. Because when you're walking small, when you're walking insecure, you lose your authenticity. Instead, you're trying to please people. You know, you're not in your center. You're like, well, what do you want? How can I, what is it that you want? No, as an actor, we are taught. We are educated to make choices that are hot, not what would you like me to do? No, make your choice, and then if the director has something different, he'll give you the adjustment. But don't go in going, well, what do you want? I'll do whatever you want. That is so weakening to the actor. It also, when you're not walking in your power, you drain the rooms. You suck the energy out of it. Also, you stink up the room. A desperate actor, someone who is not in their power, smells up the room. The people in the room can't wait for you to leave. So don't do that. You invite disrespect when you're not walking in your power. You invite disrespect. I always say this to friends. Stop hanging out with pigeons because they disrespect you because they know that you're an eagle, and you, actor, are an eagle. I don't know if you know this about eagles, but eagles are powerful and mighty. They're first of all, they're majestic, and they're the only bird that can fly over a storm. So what do pigeons do? They hang around on the floor, in like on the curb. They don't fly very high. So stop acting like a pigeon and be the eagle that you are. Or, maybe you're not acting like a pigeon. Maybe you're acting like an ostrich. Stop doing that. Be an eagle. Fly, soar, do your stuff. Also, when you're not walking in your power, you are accepting crumbs, both financially, emotionally, and mentally. You believe that's all you should get. And that is not. As an actor, you are a cultural architect. So you have to walk in that. You have to know you're a healer. We have so much power as actors. We're healers. People go to the movies so that they can feel better. They watch TV so they can get out of their pain. We are storytellers. So when you are not walking in your power, you're forgetting that you're a storyteller who can shift people's perspectives. And when you're not walking in your power, you are being reactive. You're waiting for someone else to validate you or choose you. You got to choose yourself. I was watching Denzel speaking to Spike Lee yesterday on the internet, and he brought it home. He said, I am not waiting for anybody to validate me or to deny me. I choose me. I choose me. And as actors, we have to choose ourselves. We have to know that we have that special sauce and nobody can take it away. Oh, you have to stop giving it away, because that's what happens when you're not walking in your power. You're just giving it away. You're like, oh, whatever you want. No. What do you want, actor? What do you want? When you're not walking in your power, you lack magnetism. The audience doesn't believe you and they don't feel you. And the most brilliant actors that I know, they walk in their power. And you're like, ooh, what? Wow. Walk in your power. What do you have? What do you offer? Don't be expecting somebody to tell you what you offer. You have to discover what you offer and then bring it to the world. This is what I give. This is it. I give encouragement. I give laughter. I give romance. What is it? What's your superpower, actor? Walk in that. Walk in that superpower. And when you are walking timid, scared, confused, broke down, busted, and disgusted, you self-sabotage. You procrastinate. You make excuses for things instead of coming prepared to the party with your goods in tow. You got to come ready. And you got to say that you are not going to accept rejection. Because when you're not walking in your power, you're taking every no personally. And when you walk in your power, you just go, okay, well, they're not from my tribe. They're not from my tribe, but I'm not going to get stuck in that. You know, it's like you are a product and you have to know where your product fits and not try to make your product fit everywhere. That is one of our fatal flaws as actors, is we think we could do everything and we think, that everybody should like us. We can't do everything and everybody doesn't like us. You got to pick your tribe. You got to go where you're celebrated. Stop hanging out where you're tolerated. When you are not in your power, you miss divine timing because the opportunities pass you by because you are hesitant, or you wait too long, or you don't follow up, or you don't show up. When you're not feeling powerful, you miss self-tapes. You don't reply back to your representation. You're not looking for representation. You're not taking current headshots. You're not taking care of yourself. So you got to do that. You got to take care of yourself. So that you are ready for when opportunity knocks. You are ready because you are prepared. Another thing that happens to actors when they're not in their power and they're feeling insecure or they're feeling like imposters is that they copy people instead of carving out their own path. So we don't want to copy anybody. We don't want to be a carbon copy of anybody because God doesn't make copies. He doesn't make cubic zirconia. He makes diamonds. And you, actor, are a diamond. So be the diamond. When you are not walking in your power, you shrink your vision. You believe that the industry is too hard, or it's not for people like you, or you believe that somebody else has to come and rescue you. No, you rescue yourself because you show up in your power and you are not waiting for anybody to validate you. You are validating yourself. And when you don't walk in your power, one of the biggest things is that you lose your sense of joy, you lose your sense of play, you lose your why you are acting. So we want to get that behind us. There's all this controversy right now because casting networks is trying to charge the agents and managers. First they were trying to raise up the prices for the actors, and now they're coming for the reps, and the reps aren't having it. They're like, we're going to leave this site and we're going to go to casting.com because we ain't having it. That's how actors have to be. We're not having it. We got power. We got to use it. We have to step in it. I want to give you some examples of some actors who walk in their power or walked in their power. Somebody who's no longer with us, but embodied grace and strength and excellence, and redefined what a superhero looked like was Chadwick Boseman. I mean, if you saw him, you wouldn't think that's Black Panther, but he embodied it. He walked in his power. Robert De Niro is older now, but he still walks in his power. Viola Davis, she walks in her power. Her power is speaking truth, speaking truth about race and gender and mastering craft. Zendaya walks in her power. She walks in that feminine power. She walks in authenticity. She just walks like a little lovely gazelle, just moving. That's how she walks in her power. And every actor walks in their power differently. Meryl Streep constantly chooses roles that explores truth without ego. She is going deep into character. Lupita Nyong'o, I think I got that wrong, but she immerses artistry with activism, and she inspires young women globally. Robert Downey Jr. turned his pain into power. He created one of the most popular pop culture heroes. How wonderful is that? Robin Williams, when he was alive, used humor as healing, turning darkness into laughter. He walked in power. Unfortunately, he got to a point where he forgot. And when he got stuck in darkness, he forgot that he was powerful. Frances McDormand is another one. She refused to play by Hollywood's rules, and she keeps winning. Denzel, what else can I say? Denzel walks to his own drummer, his own beat. He don't care what you have to say about him. He is doing what he does. Rita Moreno, woman's in almost 80, I think. And this woman walks with such confidence and such, she just walks like a queen. She doesn't care what you think of her either. So Angela Bassett is another one who walks in excellence and commands reverence. She really walks like royalty. Robin Wright is another one who walks with poise and strength. Jennifer Lopez, don't care what you think. The woman is always reinventing herself no matter what. She walks like she owns the planet. You may not like her, you may not have good things to say about her, but she walks in her power. Octavia Spencer is another one who walks in who she is. You as an actor have to learn that, do that. Ryan Reynolds, another one. His power is walking in humor and vulnerability. So everybody walks in their power in a different way. The goal is to find your way and walk in it powerfully. Whether you are Tom Hanks or America Ferrera or Issa Rae, who created her own narrative. And Robert Townsend, another one, created his own lane, made his own stuff, wasn't waiting for anybody. One of the pioneers of independent film, took his credit cards and did his own thing. Emma Stone, another one who uses her power in a playful and self-trusting kind of way. And then and my lovely Blair Underwood, you know, he walks in quiet power. He's professional, he's grounded, he knows who he is, and he doesn't flinch. You know, he doesn't go, oh, wait, what are they saying? No, he's on point, he's on purpose. As actors, we hold our power when we walk intentionally, when we know who we are, and we're not trying to be somebody else. We're not trying to copy somebody else. It's just being who you are. So I'm going to give you 10 steps for you to walk in your power, to tap into that power that is you, only you. First, start with gratitude. Say out loud 3 things you're thankful for about your artistry every day before you even touch your phone. What are 3 things you are grateful for? Number 2, mirror power talk. And when I say that, I'm saying look in the mirror and say things to yourself to empower you. One thing could be, I am a storyteller. I change lives through my truth. I am a storyteller. I encourage people through my characters. I am a storyteller. I bring humor to every character I do. Whatever it is, I want you to start practicing this. This is a powerful tool for actors to get in front of the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, and tell your truth, your power. Give it to yourself. Whatever it is that you're wanting to get from somebody else, whether it is a producer, a casting director, or even a loved one, start saying it to yourself. Give it to yourself. If you give it to yourself, you don't need it from anybody else. So whatever people give you, it's just cherry on top. But start saying lovely things to yourself. Number 3, start moving your body in power poses. You know, start doing activities to get your endorphins going. Walk, run, dance, move like you belong in your skin. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Come on now. Do something that makes you feel alive and it makes you feel grounded and centered. The next thing is make sure that you are training. You are training daily. You know, you're maybe doing 15 minutes of vocal exercises, or reading a script, or doing emotional recall, or you're just getting in front of the camera on your phone and start doing a monologue. Do something. Work on your craft daily. Just work on it. Call a friend and say, hey, can we run lines on a scene? But work on your craft daily, because that keeps you sharp, and that also gives you confidence. And take a class. You know, maybe you want to discover if you've got improvisational skills. Maybe you want to discover if you're good at sword fighting or fencing, or, you know, doing some kind of acrobatic activity. But do something daily. Get you going. Go. The next thing I want to encourage you is to watch great performances. Study them. Don't copy it, but study. What made this film so great? Why did these people win awards? You know, who won the awards in 1980? And see the films that they did that got them the award. Start taking that in. I love going down the rabbit hole. Lately, the last few years, my going down the rabbit hole is with Korean actors, because I love me some K-dramas. So if I am watching something and I see an actor in it that I like, guess what? I'm probably going to go watch 3 to 5 different projects that actor has been in, because now I'm curious. Watching greats. Something I love doing is going to the movie theater to see retrospectives on actors. You know, a couple of my favorite actors are Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant, and they did 3 films together. And one of my favorites, Bringing Up Baby and A Philadelphia Story. Great comedy. Oh my God, great writing. So, go see old films, see why they were great artists, why they were movie stars. That's something to inspire you and get you going. It helps. It does empower you. Write or record something every day. Keep a journal. Maybe you have an emotional journal, or maybe you have a journal that you just write things you discover every day. But keep a journal. Write it or speak it into your phone every day. Create something even when nobody is watching. That's what you want to do. And then network with purpose. Don't just go meet people. Offer value. Be curious. Have collaborations, but do it with intention and purpose. Okay, I would like to meet this actor. I would like to meet this director. I saw this guy direct this theater piece. I thought he was phenomenal. You know what? I'm going to DM him and offer to buy him coffee or breakfast. I would love to talk to him. Meet people. I get on the internet and I introduce myself to people all the time because it is available to me. When we didn't have the internet, I would just go walk up to people and say, "Hi, how you doing? My name is Lydia Nicole. I would love to get to know you. Would you like to go to coffee with me?" Meet people. Don't stay by yourself. Don't isolate. Another thing is guard your energy. Unfollow, mute, or step away from negativity, especially on social media. You got to protect your mind. You got to protect your emotions. Sometimes you'll be scrolling on and then you get depressed and now you can't do anything. No, guard yourself and guard yourself from bad phone calls and bad friends and bad acquaintances. And if you're in an acting class and there's somebody who is negative, stay away from them. You want to be around people that are uplifting and get you going, because when you're lifted up, you feel creative. You feel like, okay, I can do this. I'm good. I'm moving. I'm grooving. But when you're around negativity, no matter what it is, you start it affects you in a profound way. It strips you from stuff. It's like it's sucking stuff from you. Stay away from that. I always say I'm going where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. If I go in a room and people are giving me dirty looks, I'm not going back in that room. I am not going back in that room because they don't deserve to have me in that room, and I am not going. That's what I have to say. And that's the same in acting classes. If I'm in an acting class and I don't like the energy of the acting teacher, guess what? I will not be going back. I want to go where I feel safe, where I feel loved, where I feel empowered, especially in an acting class, because I'm opening myself up. And if I feel like that teacher is picking on me, and no, there's a difference between somebody critiquing you and giving you information to make you better. But I have been in classes where there are teachers that they can be a little harsh with the notes, but they care about you. I'm not talking about those teachers. I'm talking about teachers who they're not living the life they want to live, and they kind of come down on students. That's what I'm talking about. If the teacher is kind of pooping on you, don't go back. Don't do it. I also encourage you to visualize your success. Close your eyes daily for a couple of minutes and just see yourself succeeding. See yourself receiving the Oscar. And I'll tell you this: a couple of years ago, my bestie, Susie Lonergan, took me to the Academy Museum for my birthday. And I had the best time because at the Academy, they have this little feature. You pay a couple extra dollars and you can actually get to hold an Oscar and do a little Oscar speech. And I did that. Oh my God. It just made me feel alive. And you get the recording. So that's part of my visualization. I visualize me getting on stage and receiving the Oscar. What is it that you can start visualizing for yourself that you want? What is that you want? I am saying to you, visualize big. Stop playing small. We talked about that. That's a negative. Visualize big. Who do you want to be working with? Visualize. For me, I would visualize that I was working with Robert Redford, and I finally did get to work with Robert Redford. I had the most amazing time with Robert Redford. Rest in peace. But who are actors or directors or writers? Who are people you want to work with? See yourself, visualize it, see it. It will bless your spirit. Hi, Sandra. It will bless your spirit. I am telling you to think big. Think big. As actors, we have to think big. Don't think small. Well, if I just get a job. No, it's not just about getting a job. A career. How about getting a big career? You have to welcome it in you, so that the universe will give it to you. So that God will say, okay, you want that? You got it. And finally, I want to encourage you to lead with joy. Enthusiasm is magnetic. It's so it's so contagious. Just like depression is contagious. But enthusiasm, joy, opens doors that no resume ever could. You want to lead with joy. You want to lead with love. Years ago, I learned a valuable lesson. I used to have problems with costumers, because costumers and makeup artists, I had big problems with them. And it was my story. I learned from Shirley Ralph. I worked with her on a project, and I learned from Shirley. She said, girl, you just bring your makeup kit, put your makeup on, don't worry about the makeup artist. And I started doing that, and it was the best thing that could help me, it was the best thing for me. And it also allowed me to leave the makeup artist alone. But because in Hollywood, if you're not the star, they don't really cater to you. And they're not really interested in how you look, and you could take it personal, and I would. And all this stuff that I'm telling you is stuff I've had to learn to do, to not take things personal, to not let people affect me in a negative way that stop my flow. You're the only one who can say yes or no to negative people, and I choose to say no. Thank you very much, but no. And so I did a movie, and this costumer put me in horrible clothes, and I hated it. And so we tussled about it. The funny thing was, as much as she was trying to diminish me in the outfit she put on me, because I was very slender then. I mean, I'm slender, but not like I was then. I was a size 0. And everything she put me in, I looked like a model. So no matter, she put me in boys' clothes, I looked like I was modeling. And it was hilarious. But what I learned was, I decided to let it go. Let the makeup people do what they do. Let the let the costumers do what they do. And then me as the actor, find something that I could hang on to within what they gave me, within the parameters. And that really, really helped me. So I need some water. And that really, really helped me. It really made a difference in how I showed up on set, how I showed up in the character, to kind of block everything out and just go into character. And if I didn't like something, maybe that character didn't like something. So that what it did for me was help me to transform the character in a bigger way, instead of me going, but how do I use it for my good? How do I use negative stuff for my benefit? How do I use it? How do I make good things come from it? So I want to encourage you to walk in your power, actor. That means you vote if you're a union member, you should be voting. You should know what's going on in the union. You should be showing up. You should be active. The union is as powerful as the actors are, and we have to take our power back. My goal as an actor and as a acting career coach is to help you transform to be powerful. That's what I want to see. I want to see actors rock it always. I belong to the Writers Guild. I go to the Directors Guild for a lot of events. And I always watch the writers and the directors walk in their power. They are confident. They know what they do. And when it comes to negotiations, they are always clear. They get the job done. They don't play. But when it comes to actors, when it comes to our union, we crumble and fall apart. We just, oh my God, what are they doing? Instead of standing by the union and saying, do what you need to do. We got your back. We know how to take side jobs. What I love about writers is they are real clear cut. Look, I know how to do side jobs, so I'm not worried. We know how to do side jobs. I was sharing with somebody that for years and years and years, as I was supporting myself as an actor, there were times when I had to take side jobs. I worked at the airport, meeting and greeting passengers that were coming off of Princess Cruises, or getting them back to the airport. I did all kind of stuff. I even worked at my tax lady's office. That only lasted 2 weeks. Actually, only lasted 30 minutes. I stayed 2 weeks until she found a replacement. But it was the worst job I ever had in my life. I was freaking out. But I say this to say, we take the jobs we need to pay our bills, but we still are focused on, hey, I'm an actor. I'm going to go do this table read. I'm going to go do this play. I'm going to shoot a video on myself. We are powerful. We are storytellers. We change lives. We bring transformation in our work. We have to stand in that power of what we do. You're not auditioning for approval. What you're doing is offering transformation. You got to know that you bring good medicine as an artist. You bring good medicine. You are powerful. Be that powerful person. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't feel like you don't count. Don't do that to yourself. Don't lessen your brand. Don't lessen your talent. If you're with a manager, an agent, and they don't get you, leave. Find somebody else. Know that you are worthy, that you are enough, and that your talent matters, and that you have something to offer this world. So with that, I say, go, be, do, have an incredible career, and keep going. And I can't wait to see you at the show. So you have a marvelous day. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.